everyone, and welcome. I'm Kristen Bomish, your host, and joining me tonight is Michelle Smisek, and we're going to talk about life. Michelle has a history, 10 years in theater, and now she's working on a career in public speaking, preferably keynote speaking. So thank you, Michelle, for being here.
Oh, thank you so much for having me.
I'm looking forward to it.
This is going to be great.
Yeah. So tell me what you're thinking.
Okay, so I am getting very close to 40.
Wow, I've known you that long.
I know, it's crazy. We don't need to focus on that. Anyways, moving on. So, especially with it, when we're filming right now, it's now the middle of February, and a lot of people had their New Year's resolutions, including myself. I do it every year, and I am losing motivation.
Oh, I love this.
I am absolutely losing motivation. It's really hard. I've tried different things in the past where, okay, for January, I'm going to only watch an hour of TV a week. And then February, a new thing. So that way I could try to switch it up, not get bored, not get stuck in the monotony. I never did it. I never followed through because life.
Right.
So I'm currently doing this thing called the 75 Hard Challenge.
Ooh.
Thank you. So what it is for 75 days, you do 2 workouts a day, 45 minutes each. One has to be outside, no alcohol, clean eating, no desserts, no snacking, and a gallon of water a day. There's more. And then 10 minutes of reading. So some of those are really easy. The 10 minutes of reading a day, fine, sure. And I'm not being very strict on it. I know some people that take out carbs, refined sugar, things like that. I'm not doing that. But I've done my workout every single day. I have done one outside every single day. I'm now about halfway, and I'm struggling. I'm literally, what am I doing? The motivation, it's because now I've done it for so long, I'm over it kind of thing.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I'm just, in my mind, it's okay, you've done it, and you did a really great job, and you're so much healthier, you feel better, you've lost some weight, you look great. Just stop.
Right?
Have a burger. Have a chocolate chip cookie. That's where I'm struggling.
I get it.
So
I get it.
my question is, I need help with motivation.
Do you?
Yes.
Or do you? Because I think a lot of times, and I love your question because I can't tell you how many times I have just done videos talking about this very topic because everybody asks the same question. When we make a resolution sometimes based on what we should do. Or we make a resolution of what we'd like to do because we're not doing it, and so there's a little bit of an antagonistic piece within ourselves, right? We don't know quite what it is. We know we want to work out more. We know we want a different kind of lifestyle. Like you mentioned before, you said that you were taking the 75-day hard challenge, that you wanted to cut back TV to about an hour a day and then slowly, create a transformative lifestyle until you hit your goal. That's wonderful. This forces you into a habit that's not yours and may not even match you. I mean, an hour and a half of working out split across two segments of time in your life, coupled with a change in eating, no alcohol, that is an entire lifestyle change from black to white by being told this is what you have to do to meet a challenge. That's huge. So I would go back to a simple question. Do you think that this challenge matched the experience you were dreaming of when you stepped into it? Is this really what you want in your life?
What I think is I like to challenge myself.
Okay, that's cool.
I really like to do that.
And
I noticed when I was just trying to eat healthier, trying to eat better, things like that, it just wasn't working out. I would do it for a couple days and then I'm a big snacker. I like desserts. It's the end of the day. I've just worked all day. I'm gonna have a chocolate chip cookie, whatever it is. I wasn't maintaining. And so I thought when I saw this challenge, I was like, this is really hard. Really hard. And unfortunately, I didn't take a before picture because even at the very beginning, I was like, I don't know if I can do this. This is really hard. I'm probably gonna give up in a week like I've always given up. So that's why it's like,
So that's another thing pushing you.
absolutely, is I'm like, okay, now that I've made it halfway, I gotta keep going. So unless I put for myself really hard boundaries, I won't succeed.
But you're forcing yourself.
I am forcing myself though.
And that's why it's not working. It doesn't have anything to do with motivation.
Whoa.
If you were going to just, on an ideal day in your world, if you could really draw out an ideal day, what would it look like? What time would you wake up? What would it look like when you wake up? What would your day look like? How would it flow? What would it look like?
Okay, so
A wish.
A wish, my idealistic day. So let's even include work in that.
Okay.
So if I were to do that, honestly, I like going to bed. I go to bed a little bit later. I go to bed about 12.
Okay.
But I like waking up at 9. I love that. And then getting up, being able to have a good breakfast. And then getting ready for work, but being all very calm. I don't have work usually until about 11. So that's very easy to wake up at 9. I have 2 hours. That gives me 30 minutes to drive, no rushing. There's no traffic in my dreams as well. So I get right to work, everything's fine. And then coming home, relaxing, having a good, strong, healthy dinner, and then relaxing, watching TV for an hour, reading for a little while, and going to bed. That would honestly be like my ideal day.
Okay. Conspicuously, 2 workouts are missing.
I knew, the second I said it, I realized that.
So you see how much you're going against yourself. And it doesn't mean that you don't want to work out. It means that in the flow of a day, that right now your work is exhausting you in some way. And so you're looking at more of, you've got yourself in a routine of working more than you would in an ideal day. Because I don't think your ideal day is going to be get up, work, come home, rest for a couple hours, go to bed, wake up, work, right? Because you don't have enough time for life in there.
True.
You're watching a little bit of a TV, reading a little bit of a book, going to bed early. Now, that could work, but it's a lot of hours of work.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? So you want to ask yourself about the experience you want to have. I think that so often, think about your own life. In your own life, what do you like about your day? What do you not like about your day? And what do you wish you were doing that you're not doing? So by asking those questions of yourself, you're asking about that experience that you wish to have inside. And I think that that's something you really need to ask yourself. Like, if I want to work out, what does that look like to me, right? Oftentimes, people say, okay, I want to work out, and they go do what somebody tells them to do. They join CrossFit or Orange Theory or whatever, and they hate it, and they keep pushing because they have to work out. But what's a workout to you? Maybe it's walking around the block. Maybe it's getting an app. Maybe it's yoga. Maybe it's weightlifting. Maybe it's whatever it is. But maybe it's swimming. I have a good friend. She loves to swim. Okay, that's great. Me swimming every day probably wouldn't function. It's like getting all wet, and I love to swim. I'm in my pool just about every day, but not to swim laps. But I love my exercise and I love my weight. So you have to ask yourself, what is it that you would like to do? And really, it's a matter of getting to know yourself. So what you did on New Year's Eve is you threw yourself into what somebody has told you is a healthy lifestyle. And there's some aspect of you that wants a healthier lifestyle. Like, that what you've got isn't making you feel good. So you're trying to figure out what that is, but you have to start on the inside. So you think about that. What is it that I'd like to do? What do I not like to do? Not everybody is, there's no way in hell I could work out 45 minutes twice a day. Would I love to? Oh, yeah. Oh, if I had that kind of lifestyle, excuse me, but living at home, not having to work, somebody's paying all the bills, I can get up, I can relax, I can go to the gym, I can come home, I can go back to the gym or go to yoga or that's pretty doggone cool.
Yeah.
I would miss working because I do love what I do. But my lifestyle doesn't accommodate that.
That's what's been hard.
Right. Right. And I'm going to give a sidebar to that. There was a time in my life I started a business. This was back in the early 2000s. And it was taking every ounce of me. I was going in at the crack of dawn and staying until everybody was gone. And I knew it was going to take a lot to get the business off the ground. I didn't mind. It was sucking up all of my money, sucking up all of my heart and soul and time. And I went in, there was an energy healer who worked there, and I went into him and I said, my energy is all over the place, and I'm losing it, and I'm exhausted, and I just really, really need some sort of direction with my energy because I'm going to lose myself if I'm not careful. So I did his energy healing. He sat down. We were talking about everything. And he goes, okay, this is what's going on, blah, 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 blah. Gives you the summary, tells you what you're going to do. And my homework assignment, now I already had no time to even breathe. My homework assignment was, I want you to meditate for 90 minutes every single day. And I looked at him and I said, okay. And I did it. Why? How did I make the time for that block of meditation? Because I walked in with the question, specific question. My energy is going so quickly that I'm afraid I'm going to lose myself. Tell me what I need to do to get me back. Tell me what I need to do to get my energy where I want it to be. That was my wish. He gave me the answer to my wish. So I surrendered into what he said and made it happen because that's what I wanted. But if I didn't know that it was my energy, if I didn't know that that's what I needed, if I went in and I just wanted somebody to give me a pill and make it better, or I was hoping somebody would say, you know, I have an investor who will make this all go away for you and you can just do what you love to do, it would have been wonderful. But I didn't go in with that wish behind it. I went in with a wish to just get my energy back and get me back. Mm-hmm. So it was easy for me to listen. But if I was hoping he was going to come up with a different answer and it was against me, you see it, right? Yeah. I would have been fighting and I never would have been able to get that 90 minutes off the ground. And it's a little bit of a different kind of an example, but you have to start with you. Mm-hmm. There's a reason why this isn't a match. I would commend you. I cannot tell you how impressed I am that you've lasted this long. I mean, the date today is, what is today, the 12th?
Something like that, yeah.
That we're filming this? So you went from January 1st?
January 1st.
Which was 31 days plus 12.
Right.
Right? So you're talking about 43 days.
Mm-hmm. Wow, yeah. I've been trying not to keep track, but yeah. And my last day is March 16th, if I did the math right. So the first day I can kind of go wild, if you will, is on St. Patrick's Day. And I was like, that seems to make sense to me.
It seems to me like somebody who picked 75 days knew exactly what they were doing too. That's just
true,
brutal.
Right? Yeah.
That's brutal.
Yeah. So, yeah, I still have, at this point, another month
Why does
left.
it have to be 75 days for you to know you succeeded?
Wow. I don't know. That's what it said. Simply
Right.
put, it's
But
a
I'm
75.
asking Michelle, would Michelle feel like she succeeded if she picked her own date? What if you picked this Friday and you said this Friday is it? Or tomorrow is it? Or Monday is it, right? Maybe you don't want to pick Friday because it's a weekend. I don't know.
Sure.
What if you picked your own date?
I think if I would have done that at the beginning.
So how do you convince yourself it's not success if you pick it now?
I'm doing a 75 hard challenge, so you have to follow through. That's my mentality. I can't. If I would have said I'm going to do it for January, I'm going to do it for whatever month, then I could have done that. I will say at the end, you're not supposed to really break it, and if you do, you're supposed to actually start over. That's what I'm saying. I'm not being that strict. So I will say I had like a little snacky dessert at the end of January just because I was so proud of myself for making it the 31 days.
Good for you.
So I did do that, and that's stuck with me. It's like, should you have done that? I know.
You hear the should?
Yes.
That should tells you that it's an expectation, not a reality to you. Anytime we use the word should, need to, have to, those are expectations, and expectations are always external. Remember that. Anytime you use that word should, or the words need to, have to, supposed to, those are telling you that it's an expectation. Expectations are always external to you.
Wow.
We will by nature use those phrases when there's an incongruence. What we're about and what we think we should be doing aren't in balance. So again, it's about going inside. And there's a question you can ask yourself. You can ask it now, or you can just ask your own self on your own time, where you learned to be obedient to the rules set for you rather than following your own heart, right? Because oftentimes we step into something, oh, this is really cool, and you go like, this is really cool, but this is ludicrous, right?
Yeah.
And I really love what I've done, but I'm into it and I'm realizing this is more crazy than when I read what it was. This is beyond hard. It doesn't really make sense. It's not a lifestyle you're going to be able to maintain.
No.
So you've done it for, say, 45 days, which is a ton of days, and it didn't turn into a habit. You know why it didn't turn into a habit?
Oh, wow, yeah, that's true.
Because it doesn't match. Right?
Yeah.
And they say 21 days is where it kind of settles in. And I think now they're saying it's really 90 when it really takes hold. But by 21 days, you'll start to crave a rhythm, right? And then if you can maintain it, then yes, it becomes much more habitual rather than just rhythmic. But it's not even doing that. You're still feeling the struggle and the force that's pushing you to do something that goes against what you're comfortable with.
And it's just the workouts. That's the only thing that I'm really forced.
So what would be wrong with moving it to one workout a day?
It's not the challenge.
You
I know.
see?
Yeah, it's literally, and I will say I like that I've lost a couple of pounds, like the extra little weight that I had. I've lost some of that and I love that. And I will say my mood, my energy, it is actually all up.
What do you think made that happen?
I guess maybe eating as well, eating better, not snacking.
No, snacking's okay.
I know.
Not too much sugar, but snacking is good.
Right.
You know, some people snack, some people don't. I don't even eat breakfast.
Really? Okay. I know for my 45-minute workout that I have to do outside as part of the challenge, I have started rollerblading again.
Oh, wow.
Which I haven't done since I was a kid. So I bought rollerblades. I am now rollerblading, and it's freeing. It's childlike again. I love it. They light up when I rollerblade. Of course, I had to do that. And then I also started riding my bike again, like consistently.
Yeah.
And I think being outside every day has really helped.
You light up when you talk about doing something outside.
Yeah.
And you light up about the way you feel. Mm-hmm. So the challenge gifted you those two things.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
And I would honor that within yourself. So now you know you like doing something outside. Mm-hmm. You're doing something outside every day?
Every day.
Okay. So which outside time is working really well for you? Which one is your favorite?
What do you mean? The activity or what time?
Both.
Ooh. I would say early morning has been really great. I've been waking up, instead of that 9 that I said is my ideal, I've been waking up at 7:30.
And you go to bed at midnight?
Yeah. Which is why when you're saying it's not matching, that's where the lack of motivation is coming, because I have to wake up at 7 a.m. And it's like, okay, I have to work out for an hour and a half because I'm trying to get it all done before work. Because I know if I get home from work, you've just worked all day. I still have to eat, I still have to shower, I still have to feed my animals, I still have life that I have to do. So it's been really hard. So I learned at the beginning, okay, you need to do both workouts. And then I feel better, like, oh, okay, I've already accomplished that, it's already done. I guess that's nice too, I already have that accomplished. So that feels good. I eat better during the day. I don't like the way you're looking at me.
Oh,
what do you think?
I'm thinking a lot of things, but all of it's good.
Okay.
You put the 45 minutes together, which is cool for you. So you made it work for you, which is listening to yourself. That's good. So you're working out once a day.
Usually, yes.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And so when you do that, and you're liking the morning, and you're liking the outdoors portion. Mm-hmm. So as you're going to make a choice how you move through this, but I will promise you this is not motivation. This is the plan that you stepped into. It was a fun challenge, but it's not a match to who you are. Mm. And so at some point you're going to have to ask yourself, what's more important? Meeting a challenge and the historic old beliefs that tell you you must finish what you started, or that tell you if this is what it is, you must do it in order to call it successful. You know, all those external things. Those are old beliefs inside you that are also pushing you to stay with it. Is that all important? Or is it more important to listen to Michelle? To what is going on inside you, what feels right. You're loving the outdoors, you're liking the rollerblading and the bike riding and maybe whatever else outdoors. Can you keep that going for yourself? Can you make a promise to yourself to take the 75 days, move it into a 90 days, change it from 2 workouts at 45 minutes, 1 inside, 1 outside, to rollerblading, biking, and whatever else you're enjoying every single day until you hit day 90?
Sure.
Can you just take what it's given you so far? What have you learned about yourself? What are you enjoying? What feels good? It feels good to get going. It feels good to be motivated to get outside and rollerblade. I think you'll find that you'll be more motivated to do that. You have to listen to yourself. This is your life. But we grow up being told what to do, what to think, what to be, what to eat, what to wear. And we continue down that path. And the more we listen to those external voices, the more we're trying to meet those expectations of the other, whatever that other is. And so there comes a time where we really want to stop trying to please the external point, and we want to please our heart and soul, because that's where the joy is found. And that's where we start to feel the fulfillment. So that it's not an absence of motivation in you. It's an absence of match for you. And this happens, I can't tell you how many people I have talked with who make their promise, based upon what they think they should do it during New Year's Eve, launch into it, and don't make it 45 days. Oh, you're doing great, right? Most people fizzle out by the beginning of February, definitely by mid-February. And so then they get disappointed in themselves and frustrated, and they judge themselves as unmotivated or in some way not good enough, and right down the rabbit hole. Because as soon as you start having those thoughts, you're depleting your own energy. You're not giving yourself any good feedback, right? You celebrated at least on January 31st, which is super.
Yeah.
I wish more people would do that. Think about your own life. Have you celebrated your little successes and your big successes, even if there's successes on the in-between? That was a pretty cool thing that you did there.
Oh, wow.
So you really want to do that. You want to celebrate that you made it to 45 days, right? Or wherever we are, 43 days. That you really celebrate that success as well. And then you want to also ask yourself, okay, if I do this for this number of days, what can I take out of this program, maintain the challenge, and make it mine? So it's still a hard challenge. Mm-hmm. You're still making it hard, because this is a complete life change. The eating, I'm not quite so sure what the benefit of all that is, but it's too much at once, right? It's so comprehensive.
I feel that.
It's just too much at once. It's like telling somebody who's a major meat eater just to go vegan, and you're like, okay, and you can do it at the beginning, and then all of a sudden you're like, yeah, I can't do this. Or somebody, just there's a diet out there, the carnivore diet. Have you heard about?
Absolutely.
It's nothing but beef. Nothing but beef. That gets boring.
Right.
People feel great on it, but it gets boring, and they can't hold on to it for a long period of time. Now, if you can understand that, of course it does. We've got multiple taste centers in our mouth. We've got multiple interests inside our mouth. So, of course, you're going to get bored after a while. Do you listen to yourself, or do you listen to the diet?
Gotta listen to yourself. Okay. It's tough.
It's extremely difficult, because that's not how we're taught.
Right.
We're taught to follow orders. We're taught to finish by what somebody else told us is the finish line. Mm-hmm. And if we take a hard right, instead of going to that finish line over there, then we didn't finish.
Yes. And it's this mental block that I have.
Mm-hmm. It comes
And
from
it's
an old
very
belief.
loud. It's very loud.
I'm hearing that. Mm-hmm. So you're very motivated. You're very motivated to do what's told to you is the end line, and to meet it and to finish. Mm-hmm. There's an old belief that's anchored in that. Do you know what that is?
No.
That's what I would look for. Like, take this feeling that you're having inside, that you have to finish, that you have to do it. No matter what the cost is to your own body and your own lifestyle, I have to do it. And there are a lot of costs rather than benefits when it shifts gears, right? Mm-hmm. It went from being a challenge to being depleting.
Yes. That's where I am now.
Yes, it is. And so when you hit that point, you have to ask yourself, why do I have to keep going, and where is this coming from? So take the way you're feeling right now, the thoughts you're having, the way you're feeling inside. Would you feel guilty? Would you feel disappointed? Do you feel you failed?
I know I would feel literally all of those things.
Okay. Follow those feelings back in time. Where did you learn to feel that if you don't finish?
Yeah, I don't know.
It's a tough question.
It is.
But it's going to lead you back to that point where somebody gave you a belief, right? Like, it could be as simple as an old coach or an old teacher or a parent who had to finish at all costs. Like, no, I'm not done yet. I've got to get it done. And they're never, ever, ever done. And you don't know how to say no to, like, how to stop.
Yeah.
Right? but it's going to be something, and you really want to look at it. There's, if I could tell you how many times I see this, move inside yourself as best you can over the next few days, so that pick something outside that sometimes is a quiet meditative walk outside as your exercise. And when you're doing that quiet outdoor walk, which is extremely healing, even though it's not rollerblading and, to do a walking meditation outdoors is tremendously invigorating, healing to the muscles, to the bodies, to the bones, right? So go out and do that and just let yourself follow. Where is this coming from that I have to finish? Why do I have to listen to what they labeled as the rules? What about my rules? We move in unity with ourselves before we can move in unity with life. And you're out of sync right now. You're not in unity with yourself. You're fighting yourself to do something someone else is telling you it has to be done. And that makes no sense.
Right.
But it does inside you. Right?
Yeah.
You're feeling like you have to do it that way. So what can you do to pull back?
I feel like there's just still that mental block.
Yes, there is.
And it's just because I'm hearing everything you're saying, and I'm like, I could just go to one 45-minute workout some days inside, because we live in Florida, and there was some rainstorms there every single day, and I was biking in the rain. I was like, no, you've got to do this. You've got to do your 45. So I don't know, there's just something. I know how I'll feel. I guess I am still motivated. You're right, as I listen to myself say it out loud. I know how I'll feel when it's all over. And I know how, I'll feel accomplished. I'll feel so good about myself. I can say I did the 75 hard challenge.
Okay. Is that what your goal is, just to say you did it?
I guess.
Why did you embark upon this?
I embarked on it because I needed a change.
Okay. Because?
I needed a change because I wasn't happy. I wasn't happy in my own body. I wasn't happy. I've had a gym membership. I'm one of those people that I just pay it every month, and I'm not going. I still haven't gone on this challenge. But I guess I just needed someone else's guidelines to tell me, if you do this, you'll feel better. So I tried it.
It's easier for you to be held accountable by an external stimulus right now. So you took that, it gave you what to do, and you knew if you had that endpoint that you would be held accountable by that endpoint, that
right.
definition. So a question to ask yourself is, what is it going to take for me to know that that same opportunity is inside me? Right? You have a gym membership you pay for. You knew you wanted it. You still aren't using it.
Right.
You're learning so much in this challenge. Can you put that towards yourself? Right? That external need is because you don't believe you'll do it, because it doesn't fit into your life, but you're finding ways that it does. So when this ends, because it was so counter to your lifestyle, you're going to go back to where you were. Right? Because now nothing's holding you accountable to do something you don't want to do.
Right.
So unless you learn to take what you're learning here and implement that into your own life in a way that you're going to enjoy your life, that's the happiness, right? That's where we truly find happiness, is by listening to ourselves, by creating the experience that we wish to have. But everybody has difficulty knowing what that is, right?
Yeah.
How often I see people come home, and ask yourself if you do this. You come home at the end of the day and you just walk up to the TV and turn it on, or turn on a radio. You don't think anything of it. And then you may go through the channels of a TV, right? Go to different, scroll through the streaming thing, and, oh, this looks good. Oh, what? That looks good. Yeah, I'll watch that. That looks good. You're waiting for that TV or whatever to tell you what you're going to do for the evening, right?
Wow, yeah.
Because you don't know what you're doing. Versus coming home at the end of a day and saying, okay, what would I like tonight? When I'm driving home, which is a big mile and a half, I ask myself, okay, what do I want in the evening, right? A lot of times my friends and neighbors will come over and we'll hang together, but Sometimes I just want to be alone. Sometimes I want to read a book. Sometimes there's a movie I want to watch. Sometimes I want to eat dinner while I watch the movie. Sometimes I want to go out to dinner, as you know. And so but what do I wish to do? I am always talking to myself. We don't know the voice that answers back because we have been trained to just let something tell us what to do. And so in this case, you knew you didn't like what was going on, but you didn't know how to listen to yourself tell you what you wanted, so that then you could then learn how to put that into your rhythm. So you listen to, look at this challenge. This is going to be really hard. And you're really beating yourself up here, right? So let me beat myself up because I just got to do something because this is so bad.
That makes sense to me,
right?
though.
And you throw yourself in.
Yeah.
So now you've got to ask yourself, okay, I'm learning a lot. I'm learning that this is not a match to who I am. It's not my lifestyle. It's not something I'm going to be able to maintain at all at the end.
Absolutely not.
So it's truly useless, other than I'm going to say I met the challenge.
That's
right?
it.
And again, of course, you're going to have some rewards. It's like people will take a multivitamin and go, oh my God, this is great. It's a multivitamin. It's not because you had the worst eating in the world and you're feeling something, but that's not what's happening. So it's short-lived. You're looking for a lifestyle. You're looking for happiness.
Yes.
You're looking for something that works for you. So what are you learning from this program? Because whether you finish or not isn't the important part. The important part is pulling out of it what you can do to make a challenge into a lifestyle. And this challenge will never be a lifestyle for you. You don't have the time, you don't have the interest, it's not you. So what are you learning? And how can you sit with Michelle and see what Michelle wants? And you're still not using the gym membership, so I would cancel it.
I know.
You're enjoying the bike riding, you're enjoying the rollerblading, some of those outdoor activities when they get going. I mean, if you like the outside and you like a pool, swimming is great in Florida. I'm in my pool every single day. You
Absolutely.
can't do laps in a house pool unless you've got a great big pool at your house. I do not. But you know, what works for you?
Yeah.
It doesn't have to work for somebody else.
Right.
And it has to fit into your rhythms, right? Your ideal day wakes up at 9 and you have a peaceful, quiet beginning before you go into work.
Yes.
Right now, you're beating yourself up before you go in. It's completely opposing,
So I'm starting my day
completely backwards.
completely back. I didn't even think about it that way.
Right.
You're right. Yeah.
So none of this is
Wow.
working for you. You're not listening to yourself. This is how people get sick. They don't listen to their body. So they'll have this one little piece in their body and they don't even know it's there because they're not listening to their body. They're out here, right? And so whatever's in here, they're not paying attention. Then the next thing they know, they're sick. They've run their body into the ground and they're sick because they overdid it. Okay.
Yeah. I've done that a lot.
And so we have to learn, we don't have to anything, but if we could learn to listen to ourselves, to pay attention to the experience we wish to have, then we look at the 75-day challenge and we say, this is completely out of the ballpark. However, I like what they're trying to say here. I wonder if I can create a challenge that every single day I do something. And I loved your original idea. Build upon it. I'm going to drink 1 bottle of water a day for the first week, and I'm going to do 15 minutes of exercise. And I write that down. Then I'm going to do 2 bottles of water and 30 minutes of exercise. And I'm going to write it down. And I keep a calendar of some sort, whether it's on your phone or a wall.
Yeah.
Sometimes the wall is good because you can see it, right? And you put that you did it. And so you're holding yourself accountable, but you're learning also to trust
Ooh.
in your own decisions for your own self,
Wow.
rather
okay.
than waiting for someone else to tell you how to do it. So the question you ask is fabulous, and you are not alone. Right? She's not alone.
Thanks. Yeah.
It's what everybody does. And it's never going to work until we start on the inside of ourselves and ask. And then we find something that fits us. We don't let that something force us into fitting it. It needs to fit us. It's our life.
That makes sense. That really does.
What else are you thinking?
Oh man, I was thinking something just a moment ago, but then I was listening to you. I was gonna say, the whole me getting sick, and because I'm doing all of these things, and then all of a sudden you're sick. It's so funny because when that happens to me, I always realize when I'm laying in bed sick, I always know exactly how I got there. I'm always like, I knew I was working too many hours. I knew, biking in the rain wasn't the best. Whatever whatever was going on in my life at that time, I wasn't eating right. I wasn't this. And I'm just laying in bed sick going, no, I know exactly how I got here.
So wouldn't a great New Year's resolution for you be to listen to myself each day, wake up each day and ask, how does my body feel? I'd like to work out. What can I do today? And if I'm not in the mood for doing a heavy-duty rollerblading workout, can I at least just get up and walk around the block?
Yes.
Right? And come back again. Like really listening to your body. What is my body craving for food? What do I want for dinner tonight? What do I want to do? How do I want to do this? And when you go to pick up that chocolate chip cookie, why do I want the chocolate chip cookie? Right? And let me just have 5 more minutes before I pick up that chocolate chip cookie to be clear. You know, I love my little Justin's peanut butter things.
Yes.
At lunch.
Oh, okay.
I can afford to lose a few pounds, but I love that little peanut butter cup. I do 1 cashew peanut butter cup, and I love it. Makes my day. If you're going to tell me that I need to give that up to lose weight, I'm going to tell you you've lost your mind. But that serves many, many, many purposes. So I know I enjoy it. It brings me joy in the middle of the day. It's not a big deal. You've got to really listen to yourself, right?
Yeah.
You'll find a way to do this. I found a way that works for me. I've lost my weight by doing intermittent fasting because I don't eat breakfast anyway.
Yeah.
So if I don't eat breakfast anyway, and I'm looking at all of these ways, and I'm getting older, and so the weight doesn't come off as easily, what's going to work for me in my lifestyle? Well, what's going to work for me in my lifestyle is intermittent eating. Okay. Let me learn how to really do that, and let me see what that looks like in my life. So my naturopath said, okay, you're going to eat normal on one day, and the next day just don't eat until dinner. That is so easy for me.
Oh, wow.
That's so easy for me.
Okay. And then you found your motivation. Then you found...
It was easy, because then I started losing weight, and the success was showing, and things were going. It fit into my lifestyle. It was easy, and everything went on and on and on. So as you've listened to us talk, ask your own self, are you listening to the experience inside you as you make decisions like this? When you set your own New Year's resolutions in motion, did you listen to yourself, or did you listen to what you should be doing? Do you know what's going to bring you happiness inside if you want to increase your exercise, increase healthy eating, increase weight loss, whatever it is you wish to do? You have to know the experience you wish to have. You have to work it all in together. And so it's a time in your life to say, I can also look for those old beliefs that lead me to that place of having to listen to that external goal line, right? That's what's calling me, not me. I'm not listening to me. And so at the end, when you've beat the hell out of yourself, you're going to say to yourself, okay, I did it. But now you have to start all over as you did on December 31st. What are you going to do on March 13th or 16th, whatever? 16th, since it's, to then set in motion another challenge to just keep something that really fits you in motion, which is really your New Year's resolution. So just as a thought, March 20th this year, I think, is the spring equinox, which is a nice day to set in motion another new beginning. So set that in motion and ask yourself, what is that experience I wish to have? What have I learned through this 75-day Kill Yourself challenge? Thank God I'm still alive. And now I'm going to turn it into something a little bit different, because it's like, you beat yourself the hell up on this one. So yeah, it's craziness. Okay, so my challenge to you and to you is for you to think about, what you wish to do for you. And at this critical time where everybody is struggling with New Year's resolutions not holding out, allow yourself to say, not why can't I do this, but why? What is not a match inside me? Where are the expectations getting in the way? Where am I forcing myself to do something that isn't comfortable, doesn't work into my ideal day? Write your ideal day out. Know what it is you wish to experience. Then ask how what you've learned is going to fit into that to make it all that you wish it to be. Does that wrap it up for you?
Absolutely.
Good.
Now I'm going to do all that.
Good.
I've got a lot of work to do, actually.
Oh, it's not that much. You'll do fine. It'll be great.
Yeah.
Okay, everybody. Thank you. Thank you for joining us. Thank you, Michelle, for joining me. I
Thank you so
greatly
much.
appreciate it. Thank you for listening to us. And as you go forward, may you find that your resolutions and goals come from your heart and soul, and not from something someone else tells you need to do. And until next time, May the magic be yours.
Thank you so much for joining me, and please visit KristenBomas.com where you can easily access all of my social circles.